your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope you're doing well. Tonight's live stream is going to be on no Epstein list. Okay? I'm not buying it for a second. But anyway, it might be a little bit of a rant tonight, that type of stuff. But this is beyond bullshit. But anyway, I guess they don't realize that the older generation in this country still got an education when we went to school and were able to comprehend stuff. But anyway, that's what we're going to be discussing tonight. So anyway, hopefully we'll have a good discussion tonight. I'm trying to still figure out how to do moderators. I think I may have it figured out. But if the chat gets too crazy with people that are, I don't know, these adult children you got to deal with in these chats sometimes is just crazy. I mean, I have people here that want to listen, contribute to the discussion because they like what I have to say. And I like to hear what they have to say. And when you got people in the chat that are basically the same people that are trying to disrupt, kind of like the same people that are sitting in front of sitting down in front of freeways and stuff, trying to stop traffic. These are the type of trolls that we deal with on YouTube and stuff. So, like I say, I'm trying to get moderators. I'm new at this YouTube thing. Carol, hey, how's it going, Carol? Carol, you are a blue wrench. You can go to town on it tonight, Carol. They start getting obnoxious, get them out of here. Okay? If they want to sit there and have a comment that's constructive, but maybe not what I believe, that's fine. But Carol, you should be a blue wrench now. I figured it out. Yes, I did. So anyway, I appreciate you being here. And I tell you what, this channel gets growing and I need the help. So anyway, but I figured it out. Let's get on with the subject, okay? Trump, no Epstein list. This is beyond crazy. Let's not forget that they said, Pam Bondi said that the list was on her desk. When did Epstein get arrested? Back in 2019 or whatever? Okay? And we've been hearing about this list and stuff. And now there's no list. He did it on his own. Okay? He wasn't blackmailing people. Okay, I got one question. He was found with billions of dollars worth of currency in his apartment. That was just in his apartment. What business was he in that he made that type of money? Who's in a business where you get paid cash like that? Except maybe extortion and blackmail. Where'd all the money come from? Where did that portrait of Bill Clinton sitting in the chair wearing the red dress come from? I refuse to believe this. See, this is the thing, Mr. Trump. If you're not going to prosecute these rich bastards for crimes that are beyond comprehension, we are in a country. What's the incentive for me to sit there and put my seatbelt on every day? To make sure I obey every law. If one of my flasher lights is out in my car, I get pulled over. We talk about victims that aren't getting justice. And I realize the situation he's in. And I'm not even saying that he's on the list, Mr. Donald Trump. But I'm saying he's got every leaders of all these countries, of Saudi Arabia, the monarchs, and everybody calling him, don't release that list. Don't release that list. It's crazy that the elites and the people that control us have come to a point where they can do whatever they want and not be prosecuted because the world will just fall into some sort of hell. Really? What do you think the hell these kids went through that were subject to this shit? Work on your education in the country first, then maybe you will get smart and educate voters. Whatever. See, that's what I'm saying. Get rid of them, Carol. I'm not going to sit there and listen to derogatory remarks no more. I got a fine education. I know women can't get pregnant. I know who we won our independence from. Boy, the basic questions that, I learned cursive in 3rd grade. I even remember what word we had to sit there and write on our spelling test the first time in cursive. The first word we did through spelling tests. City was the first word. There are 10 words on spelling test, and city was the first time that we had to use. Anyway, see, this is what you deal with. Okay, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. One day this guy is going to stop Superman. Superman these days, I'm telling you. What was he for? Truth, justice, in the American way? So he'd be told to sit in the corner and be tolerant these days. You think Superman would think that men can have babies? By the way, back to this Epstein list. And now they're saying that they say Mossad, Israel might have killed Epstein. Well, let's see. Jizzy Maxwell was dad worked for the Mossad. It's just everything's connected like on a rotten vine. I got a question. If Mossad went and killed Epstein, how'd they get in the prison? He was in a maximum security, 24-hour surveillance. He didn't kill himself anyway, okay? But how'd they kill him? Anyway, I believe all the people that were on the list was like, oh shit, we need to do something about this guy. I really don't even know what became of why he got arrested in the first place. What did he do, push him too far? But no list, everybody, no list. He just had billions of dollars in his apartment, in cash. God knows what he had stashed other places. That's what a normal businessman does, right? All you businessmen out there, right? That's what you do out there? Okay, and this is another thing. If he did it all on his own, what is Jizzy Maxwell doing in prison right now? Obviously, she must have never committed no crime if Epstein did it on his own, because they said he did it on his own. All our politicians are sellouts. The thing about this, I'm glad what Trump's doing with ICE. I think the alligator Alcatraz is nothing but trolling them. Okay? They don't need a moat full of alligators to keep the illegals in there. All they got to do is keep them in there and have guards. It's the trolling shit. But this is beyond what I can deal with. Okay, campaign promise was the Epstein list was going to be out. Okay, Trump, if you knew there wasn't no list, that it was all fabricated and made up to make us all excited about it, why was it a campaign promise? Anybody see the 2 tiers of justice that we're dealing with? But you better wear your seatbelt. Anyway, hey, on this channel, I'll never ask for money or donations, or I'm not selling anything. If you want to support the channel, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications, and be back here. Go through my content and check it out. Because like I say, as Americans, whether you're liberal or conservative, we're all in the sinking ship together. Okay, all I know is in D.C. right now, in the high CEOs and stuff, they're all excited about this. No list, no problem. Democrats, Republicans, no matter what the political affiliation is of these CEOs in these other countries, impeach is now the time. It's cured. It's Trump's fault. The thing is, okay, I learned in the Marine Corps that the one in charge is the one that's is the one that is responsible. If I would have had a problem with my squad and I would have told my captain it's the private's fault, I'd have been the private, not the sergeant. You understand? He needs to know what the hell's going on. This is bullshit. And if Trump believes this, if they actually sat down and told him this, and don't forget, Why did Trump separate himself? Why he said, with pictures with him at Epstein at parties and stuff, but he said he separated himself from Epstein because of his stuff that he was doing, the rumors of the stuff that he was doing. But I will say, Trump never did nothing about it, did he? Never did a damn thing about it. How long did he know about it? Anyway, anybody believes that there was no Epstein list, no P. Diddy list? P. Diddy basically gets in trouble for hiring prostitutes. Epstein did it on his own. Let's not forget about if Epstein did it on his own. Remember that picture of Epstein sitting on that swing with Jizzy Maxwell? The same out on the Queen's vacation house or wherever. The same picture of the Queen sitting in the same chair. All these people are beyond crooked. All these people are beyond evil. The short I did today. If your purpose in life is pleasures of the flesh, it will consume you. Pleasures of the flesh is the devil's playground. These sons of bitches. All these kids that disappeared, picked up by all these people, turned into sex slaves or sacrificed. I mean, it's hard to believe it's happened, but this is another thing. I'm not going to say Trump's on the list, but in today's world, you're guilty until proven innocent. So I'm going to say I think he's on the list until he proves he's not on the list, okay? How about we do it that way? Guilt by association. Isn't that what we're all accused of? If you ain't got no money, you ain't got no honey. Well, I tell you what, I like living a poor life, and that's why I got no honey, because no honey likes living the life I do, but I'd rather P. Diddy is guilty. Oh, yeah, P. Diddy is guilty. I mean, why do you think he sat there? If he wasn't guilty, explain his reaction after the no guilty verdict. That was the signs of a guilty man to me. For all I know, you're on a list. I am on a list. This is what I was saying. There's no Epstein list, but the Americans have a list, right? Let's see. I'm a Marine. I'm a conservative. I believe in the Constitution. Oh, yeah, remember those lists the Democrats were making up? And the Democrats didn't seem to have a problem at all rounding up all those people from the January 6th protest in their first 100 days, did they? Bring back Biden and Harris. We're becoming a third world country because of them. Trump is going after the poor people. It doesn't matter. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a conservative constitutionalist. So obviously I'm not happy, but obviously Trump is just part of the swamp. God, I hate being pissed about this shit. I hate feel like we were led astray and lied to. And everything was a goddamn game. I mean, it's nothing just like All-Star Wrestling used to be. Oh, they sit there and yeah. And then they're out in the bar having drinks together, having a good time. We're all being played. And the thing is, they're all on the same side, right? And they're playing us against each other, from dividing us from your political party, what color you are, what nationality you are. Any way you can sit there and divide us, they're dividing us. And we're all falling for it. This is insane. How are we going to get justice in the world? All these parents that have missing kids have to speak up and demand from the calendar from 1941 is the same as 2025. In 1941, we had World War II. Yeah, the Germans were knee deep into Russia right now. And that's another thing, okay? We weren't at war, but just like now, we're not at war right now, right? This country's not at war right now. But we're still giving over $1 trillion to the Department of Defense, or the Department of War, which I wish it was still called. Okay, why? We're not at war. Oh, I know why, because just like in 1940 and 1941, we were supplying the Allies with weapons and stuff. Just like in 1917, 1915 and stuff. That's why Lusitania was saying, proxy wars. Trump ate my first child. Come on, dude. Let's flood the chat with "You love the great President Trump." The thing is, okay, they put a bullet through his ear and he's turned into a pussy. I want The Apprentice back. You're fired. How can he possibly sit there and say there's no Epstein list? He was on the inside. He probably knows half the people that were on the list personally. Believe me, Hollywood's happy. Right, Tom Hanks? Anyway, but the list, okay, let's get back to the list for Americans now. Okay, they got all these lists for us, right? What are we, domestic terrorists? Okay, you believe in the Constitution, you're a domestic terrorist. If you feel you're a patriot, you're a domestic terrorist. Will you shut up for all of us fellows? You really should be learning more about, you're the one clueless guy. Life is like a box of chocolates. Why am I clueless? Did you see an Epstein list today? You know, it's amazing how we can two people can look at a situation and there be the facts are two totally different. This is what you have when you don't report the news. Like, you know, when I was growing up, we had Walter Cronkite, and that's the way it is. I didn't even know he was a Democrat until Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton went out on his yacht after they had their little Monica Lewinsky fiasco. Okay? But now what do we have on the news channels? Opinion. Conservative opinion and a liberal opinion. Democrat and Republican. And they are different. Democrat and liberals are different. The Democrat Party was taken over by liberals, but it's different. There still are JFK Democrats out there. John F. Kennedy Democrats. Just like on the right, you got the Republicans and the conservatives. Okay? And this is one thing, Republicans. Okay, I'm a constitutional conservative. So obviously I don't like spending money this country don't have. But I guess since Trump's in there now, it's okay, right? That's all you get. You know, for 4 years you're the wolf and you do what you want and you abuse the sheep, and then you turns and then you're the sheep for 4 years and you get abused by the people that were doing the same thing you were doing. Okay? Oh, come on, phone, don't do this. Here, let me get on. But it's crazy. It's wings of the same bird, everybody. I mean, Trump's just spending money like the Democrats, but you know, I guess he's spending it the way the Democrats want it spent, okay? So, what do you do? Oh, Joey. Carol must not be in here. Ah, shit. Anyway, whatever. I need to add a moderator. Anybody wants to be a moderator in there, I'll make you a moderator so we can get rid of Joey. We don't have to deal with his shit tonight. So somebody wants to be a moderator. See, Carol must have left. So we'll get rid of Joey here. Okay. You are a moderator, Puerto Rico. Get rid of his ass. Stay in the chat, please. Get rid of him. Get rid of Joey. Anyway. What a piece of shit. I mean, this is what you deal with liberals. This is what, I mean, how come they're supposed to be the same, right? But they're all on antidepressants and antipsychotics. And somebody want to get Puerto Rico, can you get rid of Joey there? I made you a moderator. Anybody else that knows how to be a moderator? So we can get rid of Joey here because Carol left. So anyway, yeah, get rid of Joey. You see stuff like that, get rid of his ass. That's why we have moderators. Anyway, he was in here last night, just trying to ruin the live stream, So, yeah, thank you very much. So back to the thing. The lists we're on. Okay? It's crazy. I don't see how Americans can allow this to happen. They're stealing our money. Flat out stealing it. Big, beautiful bill. Oh, it just adds a little bit to the I'll get rid of shadow band. I see, this is the thing. How am I supposed to have a conversation? See, I got to sit there and hit this switch before I go live and say, no, this is not meant for children. But they don't have one for adult children. So we may have to put up with this piece of garbage for a while. We'll eventually get rid of them. Anyway, hey, this channel will never ask for donations or money or stuff like that. I don't sell stuff. But if you'd like to support the channel, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell notification, and then the sooner I can get monetized, all you really have to do is watch a commercial to help me out. Nice and easy. Anyway, greatest president anybody alive, lifetime. No, it's the greatest president was George Washington, people. You really need to check in to Washington's history. The thing is, with this Epstein list is bullshit. Bullshit. Nobody's above the law. Nobody around the world's above the law. It is not up to us to suck this shit up. It's not up to us to sit there and supply the children that they want to rape and sacrifice. Okay? You want to solve a problem, you got to expose it, and then people need to be punished. How am I supposed to sit there and have faith in the justice system? I mean, I hear the local news, and I hear about people getting caught with child porn and stuff, and how they get all these sentences, right? And that's just some guy sitting on his computer. And we got this shit going on, and nothing happens to him. There is no list after they said there was a list. And then there's video when they said there wasn't no video. Remember that? Oh, there's no video. And then they had 11 hours of video that didn't show nothing anyway. I mean, I don't understand who they think they're trying to fool. Marines, suck it up. I tell you what, this Marine wants to start defending the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So bad. I'm so tired of standing by to stand by. And anybody in the service who's been on the ground side knows exactly what I mean by that. Standing by to stand by. Yeah, child porn's illegal. Exactly. Well, what the hell do you think Epstein had with people that they can't sit there and tell they were with? I mean, it'd be nice if rules were applied to all people. All I know is the people that are in charge of our governments all over the world, in charge of our industry, our economy, are nothing but very evil-ass people. And what they show the public is just a show. Just a show. Sorry, everybody. YouTube sat there and somebody cut me off again. Throw up in established news. It's our constitutional duty. Throw off our established and new. Yeah, exactly. See, the thing is, in the Declaration of Independence, we're not asked to do it, okay? We are charged to do it. And in service, when you get charged to do something, that means you're responsible to make sure it gets done. You don't have a choice. And that's what the Constitution, we were charged to throw off this government and install new guards to protect our freedoms, okay? It's not like we're breaking the law. One thing our government, federal government, is supposed to do is ensure our money supply. Do you feel they're doing that? Any retirees feel they're ensuring the money supply? They seem to. Wall Street's doing good. Monopoly money. But anyway, this Epstein list, this is beyond crazy. I don't. They sat there and said there was one. Pam Bondi said it was on her desk. Donald Trump telling her to get to it, get her done. Would they roll it up and smoke it? I guess it disappeared. Well, I guess Hunter Biden laptop was a conspiracy theory, right? Oh, I know how Epstein made all his money. He sold paintings just like Hunter Biden did, especially that one with Bill Clinton wearing a dress, sitting goofy in that chair. Yeah, that's how he made his money. Like I say, where'd the money come from then, you bozos? Cash. Billions of dollars in cash in your apartment. And you're going to say, no, he wasn't extorting or blackmailing people. Oh, no. He just got all these tens of thousands of videos of people having sex with underage people. Oh, no. He wasn't blackmailing anybody. I mean, did Pam Bondi sit there and say how disgusting that list was? This is the country we live in, people. You better wear your seatbelt, though. You better wear your seatbelt. You better go to work. Make sure you make enough in taxes to keep paying for this shit to get rid of Hunter Biden for president again. I wonder if Hunter would have had a better chance than Kamala. Call out. Stop talking about others. Call out the dude you voted for. I've already called him out. Jeepers Cripes, watch one of my shorts that YouTube won't put on, that I put out this morning. Fuck you, Trump. Yeah. And this is why I know the social media and stuff are in cahoots with the White House too. Because that video should have got a ton of views from liberals. But, that's right. The liberals and the Democrats don't want the list released either. Maureen, I find you belligerent and disrespectful. Well, thank you very much. Chesty Puller would be proud of me then. Chesty Puller said you weren't a Marine until you got your first office hours. But you know what? You may find me belligerent and disrespectful. But like I say, when the enemy's marching down your street and you got a foxhole in your yard, who do you want in your foxhole? Somebody who's belligerent and disrespectful that you think, or some soy boy? Take your pick. Anyway, arrest the damn president. All 8 DC Democrats are on the list. Republicans, and I'm sure there's some Democrats that aren't. I'm sure there's good Democrats out there like JFK, John F. Kennedy. Okay? But, it's all, they're the minority in their party now. I mean, the John F. Kennedy Democrats went to had an abortion clinic behind the Democratic National Convention now. What have he? Our troops love our great President Trump. Well, then they need to talk to him. Somebody needs to tell, hey, Donald, tell me, are you happy about the Epstein list? Are you happy that these criminals are getting away with sexually assaulting, putting kids into sex slavery, and flat out sacrificing them? Okay, let's not forget the tax. Oh, as long as we have money in our pocket. Right? How many kids does it, as long as you had $1 million in your pocket, how many kids do you think it's worth dying over that $1 million? I'm so sick of this shit. This is why I'm a humble, poor man, because I used to have money and it sucked. I was miserable. And all everybody wanted was money from me. Money, 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 money. And I was looked at like a dollar bill from people that had more money than me. Screw that shit. Tax breaks, tax breaks. You know what? The government makes a percentage of every transaction you make. The government makes money off your labor. What tax break are you getting again? But hey, guess what? Guess what? Because we got people buying the baloney. Because I guarantee you, tax went down in one area, they went up in another area that affected you. Because didn't we just pass a big, beautiful bill that we have putting us into debt, the country into debt? So obviously we're spending more money than we have. Hi, can I give you Dire Cat? They keep saying no taxes, tips on overtime is the greatest thing. Well, then how is it supposed to have Social Security when they retire? Well, this is the thing. I was making when Trump was when Trump was in office for a little bit last time, I was making $20,000 a year just in overtime. Boy, it sure would have been nice to have that then. All that $20,000, I maybe got 8,000 of it, and the government got the rest. I hate working overtime. This is why I'm a poor, humble man. I'm not chasing that freaking dollar bill because I'm not working any more time than I have to pay the government any freaking ass money. My time is worth more to me than a green piece of freaking paper. Okay? Except only up to 12,500. I tell you what. I appreciate my moderators helping out today, because I tell you what, it's hard to sit there and do a live stream when you got people in here that are being disruptive. And I believe everybody should have freedom of speech. You know, I didn't join the Marine Corps just so I could protect the speech of people that agreed with me. But this is an adult conversation. Whether you're on the left or right, as long as you come here as an adult and try to have a conversation. You sit there and show up as an adult child, you're out of here. Because you're interfering with everybody else. You're, like I say, you're acting like these people that sit down on the highway. There's ways of handling that. Start running them over, and then you won't have them on the highway anymore. Now I am being disrupted. I am talking about the deductions. Deductions. This is the thing. What the fuck do we have the IRS for? If you got rid of the IRS like he talked about, just think how much money let's say a business that deals with $100 million or $500 million in revenue every year. How much money does that company have to pay out to deal with the IRS? Now imagine if they could get rid of that expense completely, because I believe that your pay should be between you and your boss. That your boss could get everybody a 10% raise overnight. And just imagine if you got a 10% raise overnight and you didn't have no taxes taken out of your check. You wouldn't need government assistance for anything. Do you see the game they're playing? They take enough from you, so you got to come to them to get something from them. If you just got all your money that you earned, and they went to a flat tax, a flat sales tax, and 10%, which would be cheaper than what people are paying anyway, that would affect everybody equally, okay? Even if you're on welfare, I guess you're going to pay taxes. And then people like me who spend $600 a month, I'm going to be spending $60 a month in taxes. And if you got somebody in your family like spending money like crazy, guess what? You're going to be paying a lot of taxes. Sounds fair to me. And the cops and the military are everything else. Social programs matter. Social programs. We're not a socialist country. See, the whole idea behind this country was to be independent and free from socialized anything. You were on your own in this country. The government wasn't coming there to save you. They were going to make sure that you were protected, didn't have to deal with the enemy, and make sure your neighbor didn't interfere with your pursuit of happiness. It didn't say nothing about wiping your ass while you're pursuing your happiness. This is the thing about being independent and free. This is one thing the Indians knew, okay? You feel the freedom. I don't rely on the government for shit. If I didn't have to pay taxes to the government, I wouldn't have to deal with the government at all. Because eventually I'm going to get my ultralight airplane and I'm going to take my driver's license and go, pew! Nothing in the Constitution saying you have to have an ID. Nothing that says you have to have a social security number. Nothing saying you have to have an email address, right? But try to live without it. Being invested in the concept of social society doesn't make you socialist. No, I believe in society. I believe in society too, and I don't believe society should listen to our politicians when they say you should hate your neighbor. How the hell is that helping society? They do it all the time. If we come together as a society like we used to be, see, I'm in my late 50s. I know what it was like to live when we had an election and everybody still got along the next day. There was no problems. But that's all changed now. Oh my God, you don't think like me. You don't agree with everything I agree with. Oh my God, you microaggression me. You got to go. We live in the Twilight Zone, people. And in the Twilight Zone, there wasn't an Epstein list. Anyway, if you like the content, you want to support the channel, I'll never ask for money or donations, or I don't sell stuff. I'm just here to get the truth out. And to help me with that, hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. Leave a comment, please. Well, everybody's leaving comments. And share the video. And I'd appreciate it. Go check out my channel and my other shorts. You might like some of them. I had one that went haywire over 4th of July weekend. Got almost 45,000 views. I'm in my mid-60s, stuck nose in others' business for got broken. Stuck nose in others' business, yeah. This is the thing. You know, you want to invest in something that's going to make you money? You know, the only real good investment, if you have ambition and the ability to sit there and be better than you were the next day, invest in yourself. That's your best investment. That's where you're going to get your best return. Giving money to the stock market, to these crooks, so they can sit there and try to make you more money. Well, how'd that work with the Enron people? And right now, if our government wasn't playing its tricks with the stock market, how would the stock market be right now? Divide and conquer, aka the art of war. Manipulation has been the name of the game since the beginning of time. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Human beings haven't changed since the beginning of time. Technology has changed. But human beings are the same. All the travels I did in the Marine Corps, every country I went to, the core human being is the same. Okay, the ones who family man or whatever, they're the same for thousands of years. That's why history repeats itself. That's why empires grow and then fall, because people are the same. Hard times create strong men. Easy times create weak men. Well, what's part of the bell curve do you think this country's in right now? And now, no Epstein list. I don't even. God. We're tribal in nature too. Yeah, I'm not though. I'm a lone wolf. I got another channel called Lone Wolf Prepper Lives because I had Lone Wolf Prepper, but YouTube buried that one underneath the YouTube prison. They didn't like that channel, so I started up YouTube Lone Wolf Prepper Lives. I haven't been putting much on that, but I'm a lone wolf prepper. You know, if this shit keeps up, I'm going to go out to the mountains and live in my dugout next to a stream with my dogs and my horses. Because if this is what we got to expect from Trump, oh God, why do we get politicians that won't do their damn job? Well, that's right, because the American people, that was a short I made, okay? That went crazy. I said, when the government fears the government serves the people. When the people fear the government serves itself at the expense of the people. But our founding fathers had a remedy for that situation. That one's my best short so far. Anyway, but it's the truth. I mean, our founding fathers built the government knowing that government gets out of control. That's why we had the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, so we could speak out against it. And the Declaration of Independence telling us, hey, these people get out of hand, get rid of them. Just like the moderators get rid of the stupid people on my chat. Get rid of them. They helping you out none. Okay, income tax. I'm so sick of hearing tax breaks. You want to give me a tax break? Get rid of the IRS. Okay? Where we accepted them taxing us when we make our money and when we spend our money, it's just beyond me to be able to comprehend. How people could have become so sheepish to let that happen. I mean, does anybody ever remember the reasons why we start the revolution? Some of the big ones because of what? A 1/4-cent tax? Anyway, if anyone believes this 140,000 are going to a place called heaven, well, we have been for a long time. Checks and balances. Yeah, that's another thing. This government with these judges and stuff coming out with these judgments against Trump, restricting him from doing this and stuff. See, this is what's wrong with this country. We're not following the Constitution no more. We're trying to change our constitutional republic into a democracy, a democratic democracy like East Germany when it existed, like North Korea like it is now. That's what they want to turn the shit into. Where is everybody? Everybody, they want to make everybody equal. Well, newsflash. The only place everybody's equal is at the bottom, not at the top. You know why everybody can't be equal at the top? Because not everybody has the same ambition and same intelligence level and the same drive, the same physical abilities. Okay, they say we're all born equal. Really? So somebody born without 2 arms is equal to me, right? He's got an equal shot in the world just like I do, right? In nature's world, right? We're not all born equal. Okay? I mean, it's a harsh reality, but that's just. May I ask your highest level of education? I got a degree in electronics. I got a lot of military schools and stuff. Okay? I made the honor roll, no problem. Okay? If you want to get on my IQ, well, I keep taking these IQ tests that YouTube keeps sending me, and I have this problem of acing them. Now, does that mean I'm really smart? I don't think so. I just think that the intelligence level has lowered so much that I look really smart. Okay? That's the way I'll put it. Because YouTube keeps sending me all these intelligence tests, and I keep passing, acing them. And I thought I was just full of useless information and codes and stuff, but yeah, I got a pretty good education. See, the thing is, my teachers that I had in school and high school all went to college before the Department of Education. Big difference. My teachers cared about me. My first grade teacher taught me in a way so I become a productive adult when I was in first grade. And then, as I got older, teachers just made sure they cared about your future. Come from a small town. So I got a good education. And believe me, I made the teachers earn every dollar they made. But I got a good education, and I'm glad I did. Okay? But you can sit there and say there's a good education in today's world? Fine. Just go ask somebody who's graduating who we won our independence from. $100, they say France, sir. I haven't had anybody answer that question right in the last 15 years. But anyway, maybe that's just my area, right? Or maybe I just asked the wrong people. Sir, what's your take on Elon Musk creating the American Party? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked that. Now, one thing I don't like is being run by an Indian, okay? It needs to be run by an American, okay? But we need something, okay? I wish we could find a way for the American citizen to take our country back without bullets flying, okay? Now, they tried it with the Tea Party. What happened with the Tea Party? It was creating steam, and then it got infiltrated by these sons of bitchin' bastards. Why? Because they sat there and flashed the dollar bill in front of them and sat there and tricked them with that dollar bill. See, that's why I don't like the dollar. See, this thing, I can't be tempted by money, drugs, or sex, okay? 3 ex-wives. I'm never going to be told by a woman again I can't do something. Drugs, sorry. And money, I hate the shit. So I'm a guy who gets to see the forest through the trees. But that's what they did. They came in with the money and took the party over. How's Elon Musk going to stop that? Because we gone from a country where you go to try to be successful the way we were taught. Okay, that's why, kids like when we went in the trades, we weren't going to get jobs that we were become millionaires or nothing. But that's today's goal, more money. Not happiness, not anything to sit there and help benefit your town or your society. Everything's about me. I want to make lots of money. Yeah, that's what this country's all about now. A worthless green piece of paper. And when people realize that they're not going to exchange their goods for that green piece of worthless paper anymore, Americans are going to wake up and you know what? It's not going to affect me with goddamn anything. I got myself in a life in a situation where unless it's a extinction level event, I'm going to be able to sit there with my popcorn and whatever my beverage is at the time and watch the world just run around with chickens with the head cut off. Okay? I refuse to get in a situation where if the economy goes down, I go down. You're just talking about the symptoms. Elon is another billionaire. Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing about Elon. What did we want Elon to go to D.C. for? We want Elon to go to D.C., run Doge, find government that was wasting money, ring government expenses in, and possibly get lower taxes, right? And start cutting down on the deficit, the debt. What happened? Yeah, he's exposed. Elon Musk went to D.C. and did what we asked him to do. The first person that ever went to D.C. and did what the American people asked him to do. And then he did it. And like every American should know, he found out what politicians are like. Now, I'm not saying Elon Musk is a good guy or nothing like that. I mean, personally, he's lived a life that doesn't he have like 12 children from 12 different women? Whatever, you're a rich man. You can do what the hell ever you want. But he went there and did what Americans want him to do. My pet dog wants to be a cat tomorrow. Is that okay? My grandson got to go to school with litter boxes in his room because he's got furries in there. So I don't know. Maybe you can send it up there. He kept no pronouns. Musk is a genius. Yeah, he's a genius. Obviously. And that's, this is the thing. Why do people get on Musk so bad? Because he's on the top of the damn hill. Who else do people attack? Who cares about billionaires that could give a crap about the poor? How much money did he find? Well, I don't know. See, they didn't expose that. But, billions, okay? Remember, it's the Social Security fraud. See, this is what happens when the government gets involved in too much shit. It's too easy to sit there and throw stuff in there in the machine to ruin the cogs. And that's what they're doing. But our government's too big, and there's no Epstein list, so everything's cool now. So the Democrats, the Republicans, the CEOs, the Hollywood movie stars, the leaders from all the other countries and stuff, they don't have to worry about shit now because there's no list. Never was a list. Do you ever feel like they insult your intelligence a little bit too much? I mean, this is nothing but, this ain't even going to be conspiracy theory. Okay, we flat out know the government's lying. Flat out know it. There's no conspiracy theory about it. And we're just going to allow them to. And all these people to get away with this incredibly sadistic shit. Anyway, where are the... everything is a psychological warfare. You know, I went through boot camp, right? Marine Corps boot camp, so I understand brainwashing. And that's what I feel, especially during the pandemic. It was a soft brainwashing that they put, a soft boot camp, you might add, that they put all America through. Okay, I could see it like crazy. Like I said, I never wore a mask. I went to work every day. I didn't social distance. I didn't get no shot. Ooh, I did everything I could to sit there and fight to show everybody I knew what my constitutional rights were and what the Nuremberg Code was. If you don't know what the Nuremberg Code is, look it up. It's got to do with no citizen of the world should ever be subject to medical tyranny ever again. Nuremberg. Oh, it probably came out during the Nuremberg trial, huh? Not like the Nuremberg laws like the Nazis came up with. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty well-educated person. But anyway, I subscribed. Just curious, what rank did you achieve? I got to be a sergeant. And then I went in when Reagan was just started his second term. And I got out, when Clinton came to office and they got downsized the military so bad. And when I tried to do my re-enlist the second time, they sat there and I got severance pay and a thank you. There were guys that had 18 years and that got forced out early. Can you imagine that, 2 years from retirement and them kicking you the hell out? That's why I didn't have no freaking sympathy for all these government workers that lost their jobs, because nobody had sympathy for me when they said they couldn't pay me no more. That's why we had 9/11. All the units, they disbanded and stuff. Because after the first Gulf War, we could just have people listening on the NSA. We didn't need people on the ground verifying shit. Anyway, that's just another story. See, that's another thing. I wish I didn't know what I knew. But when you're in it, you're in it. What do you say? Breach, what's the alternative? Well, the alternative is we take our country back. Is the alternative that us vets and us patriots get together. But see, this is what we're lacking. We are lacking a leader. I've always said Donald Trump is not our leader who's going to bring our country back, okay? And it ain't going to happen in D.C. There's too much money floating around there. These people are blinded with power and money, okay? It's going to take the average guy who's had enough. But we just need that inspirational role to bring us together. Okay, and it ain't gonna matter. It just ain't gonna be white guys. It's gonna be black guys. It's gonna be Mexicans. It's gonna be Orientals. It's gonna be Americans of every shape, color, and nationality. And need I say, sexual orientation. It's gonna take all of us to win this country back. But all I got to say is, Americans shouldn't really fear too much. Because all these bases we have, all us vets can go into these bases, run the equipment. We're all trained. We all got experience. We can fly the jets to the guy fighting in the foxhole and everything in between, okay? And don't forget, we paid for all this shit. So we'll just confiscate our stuff and protect ourselves with it. It would be nice if our government would just wake up one day and decide, hey, we're going to do the right thing. The Epstein list is coming out and everybody on it is going to jail. Okay? It's going to bring the world into the dark ages if they release the Epstein list. Well, then that's what the world needs. If we become so corrupt that if we expose the corruption, we bring on the dark ages, oh well, at least our future generations won't have to live as slaves and in the twilight zone living a lie. Crazy time, crazy time. All I know is this is beyond believable. Okay, like I say, billions of dollars in cash in his apartment with no businesses. Like I say, I guess he was selling paintings of Hunter Biden of Bill Clinton sitting over the chair in his red dress. Has anybody ever seen that picture, that portrait? I'm serious. A portrait painted. So it had to taken a while. Painted of him sitting in a chair in a red dress, sitting in it sideways so his legs were over one of the arms and his back was against the other arm. Crazy time, huh? But don't worry, no blackmail in there. Release the truth and set you free. Humanity survived. Yeah. The thing is, if they don't, it's just going to get worse. If these people realize they're never going to be charged and never get in trouble because there is no Epstein or P. Diddy list no more, now these people are going to go into overdrive. I mean, these guys are addicted to it. You just told a cocaine addict that, hey, guess what? It's okay to do as much cocaine as you want, and all of it's just walking around the street. Grab whatever one you want. Sick. Beyond sick. That's how the Bible begins. The beginning, there was nothing, a void. Yeah. Well, the thing is, a phoenix will rise from the ashes. But if we don't do something about it, if they don't destroy us in our generation, they will destroy future generations. Okay? My kids are not getting my grandkids are not getting education. My kids didn't get the education I did. Okay? And my grandchild's got to go to school with a litter box in his room because he's got kids that think they're furries. But don't worry, I need to go to therapy and start taking medication till I finally start thinking that men can have babies, kids can be furries. How do you teach health class? I've often wondered this these days. How do you teach health class in school if you got furries and kids that don't think they're the right sex? How the hell do you teach health? Obviously, don't teach mental health, okay? But how do you teach health class? How do you teach some kid that thinks he's a cat about the human body? Do. But there's no Epstein list. I guess they'll get us into another war or something, drop some bombs somewhere so we always... My health teacher used to have crazy jugs. We all knew we were boys. Hey, at least he's honest. I like that one. Yeah, that would have been about puberty time, wouldn't have it been? You know, that's one thing when Princess died, right? I was like 12, 13 when Princess died. And it's one thing people don't understand. She was on the news every day for at least 6 months. I mean, at 13, I got up and watched the wedding. And I think I had to get up at 3 a.m. to watch the wedding. And I had a crush on this lady, okay? Oh, that was crazy times. It was heartbreaking when she died. But, you know, that's what happens to royalty that doesn't want to play the game with them, right? Anyway, no news on that. How do you think this is the issue? How many times do you think are in school? The mainstream media to get you to talk about the real issues. Well, one thing I don't like about school, right? This is really pissing me off. Besides kids not getting education, how come you can say Allah or the devil or whatever thing, but you mention God at all? You know, when I was in school, going through confirmation class in your 7th and 8th grade year, Wednesday mornings, first hour, Wednesday mornings. And we were in a small town. Everybody went to their church for first hour for confirmation class. And then you went to school. Boy, that would be so against the law now. There's a reason they don't mention God. It's the one true origin, Christianity. I know. But you know what? You can't hide God because you can't hide the truth. No matter how many people live in their twilight zone, okay, this is what I heard on the first King's Day protest. Live in morality before reality. And they think that's a smart saying. But see, they're dealing with their morality dictates their reality. They're admitting that they don't live in reality because they're doing their morality with, well, their moral shit they do, okay? And that's the reality they live in. But they realize that there's another reality out there that actually exists. It's just like July 4th, no King's Day. No shit, huh? What do you think the Declaration of Independence was? Telling the king that we want to come over here and want him to come over here so we can sit there and bang him? But don't worry, these are people with the education. Anyway, I've been going on for an hour. But anyway, everybody better wear their seatbelt. Please, because you know that you have to follow all laws whatsoever, okay? And if you're above the law, well, then you're good to go. But anyway, this channel will never ask for money or sell anything. No donations. So if you want to help the channel out, hit the like and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Share my videos and check out my shorts. You may like them. Help the channel grow. In that way, I can get monetized, and then I can do great things with this channel. One thing I want to do is make people laugh. If you take Trump seriously when he says that, then you aren't very bright. And one thing, I'm sick of the trolling with Trump, okay? Be the president. When you troll people, how is that bringing people together? I don't like the fact that Republicans allow Trump to act in a manner and do things that they wouldn't approve of a Democrat doing and being called the victim if the Democrats did it. I think it's bullshit. Okay? I'm a constitutional conservative. Tell me which party I like. I don't think the country should have any debt. I don't think we should have no foreign entanglements. Okay? I don't think the government needs to be chopped down to Department of State, Department of Treasury, the Department of Defense, or Department of War, and the Attorney General. That's all they need. You allow any more of them into your life, like I say, now they're in our bedrooms and stuff. And pretty soon when they go to digital currency, you're going to be told how to spend your money. So anyway, but it's crazy time. Crazy time. I mean, how is a law-abiding citizen not supposed to get pissed off? I'm so sick of the people in charge of us not obeying the laws, being above the law. Okay? I can get pulled over in my county because I have a parking light out, but, illegals get pulled over and they just get let go. Huh. But don't worry, Trump. I realize you're not rounding them all up. And then they said $160 billion for ICE. This is one thing. You know how much money they could have saved if they would have put $1,000 bounty on all the illegals' heads. And citizens of the county that were American citizens could round up the illegals just in their county, take them someplace and get $1,000 a piece for them. You know how much money the government would have saved instead of $160 billion? Anyway, but we're not going to ask the American people to help us out because the American people start helping the government out. The American people may just help the government right out of Washington. And he has a big problem with self-control and impulse control. So hateful. Okay. Bitcoin tax by IRS. You want to invest in Bitcoin? That's fine. Like I say, I invest in myself and things I can touch and feel and see, okay? and things that that are going to be worth more money as time goes on instead of depreciate. I mean, can you imagine buying a new vehicle for $60,000 and paying on it for 8 years, and it's worth nothing after 8 years? You know, the smart man, a rich man, when he sits there and buys something after he pays on it for 8 years, it's worth twice as much as it was when he bought it. Okay. But we got people in this world that I'll spend 60 grand on a car and piss 90,000 away or 100,000 away, so it's worth nothing in 8 years. Wasteful. Anyway, dark web patriot. Hey, exactly. They leased them. They took. The thing is, you know, you want a good vehicle? You know, I have a 91 3/4 ton Ford truck. I used to have a car, got rid of it, piece of shit. A newer one, computer having all these problems. But save up your money, buy a car, and then you save a ton of money. You know, the thing is, just imagine how much money you'll have in your. Get this: if you didn't have to pay the bank interest on any loans, and the IRS was completely out of your life, so you got your whole paycheck. Lots of ways to have money and not have to live on a lot. But you got to be frivolous. But I tell you what, to live a humble man and a poor man's life, they don't have no control over you. That's why I can say, I really don't care. I want my country back. I don't want tax cuts. I want my freaking country back. I want freedom. And when I got to hear a communist sit there and say, they want socialism because that's freedom. Okay? I don't know where to go with that. That's an oxymoron. Anyway, so that's what we're dealing with these days. Anyway, I am going to take off for the night. Appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate my moderators that made the stream a lot better tonight, not having to deal with Joey. But, you know, these are the people that we have to deal with. These are the people that need to be sat down, disciplined, and told the truth. Because allowing them to live in their fantasy world, where they're dealing with morality instead of reality, and their morality's twisted anyway, how is that helping them? How is not treating somebody you know that's mentally ill, not treating them, helping them, but encouraging them to think anyway? But they're never going to convince me that there was no Epstein list, okay? That there was no blackmailing going on, especially when we have victims, like the victim that was just committed suicide supposedly in Australia, who said weeks before she died that if she comes up dead, she didn't commit suicide. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But I have a hard time supporting somebody that won't enforce the law. I can't do it. He took an oath to protect the Constitution. He, you know, just whatever. But I guess his buddies and everybody, you know, they're going to get off. I know there's a lot of people that breathed a sigh of relief last night all over the world. But just like the troll here exposes himself on YouTube, on my feed, these people, Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, are exposing themselves as paid off. I mean, are all these people compromised? Are the only ones not compromised are Alito and Clarence Thomas? Are they the only ones that aren't compromised? I'd like to get J.D. Vance's take on this no Epstein list. No more voting for the lesser of the two evils. I'm not going to be told if you don't vote, you don't have a right to bitch. Really? No more. Next person I vote for will know what kind of government we have. They will be preaching a constitutional republic. Can you imagine if somebody for president was talking about a constitutional republic and the other guys start talking about a democracy? No, we're a constitutional republic. Shut them down on the spot. Somebody talks about downsizing the government, okay? Getting us, okay, we need an American in there. Okay, but guess who we get to choose from? Who's going to be the next one to choose from in 2028? Okay, I know how politics runs. They find somebody with charisma that people will watch and listen to. And they try to sit there and buy them and say, hey, we'll get you where you want to be. And, you just basically they're leashing you. How do I know this? Well, when I first got out of the Marine Corps, let's just say I had a chip on my shoulder and I got into politics a little bit. And I got approached. Fucking scumbags. But, see, that's what happens when you can't be tempted or bought. You stand up for the morals you believe in. See, that green piece of paper doesn't override none of my morals. Never has, never will. So, anyway, sir, your take on Ukraine. Let's get the hell out of there. If we would never went into Ukraine, Ukrainian war would have been over. Remember, Zelensky is a dictator now. He canceled elections. So this country shouldn't be dealing with him at all. But stop giving him shit. Don't give him nothing. Nothing. Let Russia bomb his shit out for a while so Zelensky goes, hey, I think it's time for us to sue for peace. See, when you're getting your ass kicked, you sue for peace. Maybe Zelensky, if he went to sat there and been on the titty of NATO and the United States, their country wouldn't be in the situation they're in there right now. But why are they in the situation right now? Because in 2014, the CIA decided to take out the duly elected Russia-friendly government and put in a NATO US-friendly government. That's a dictatorship. And you wonder why we shouldn't be there? See, Russia's just fighting the Nazis again. The only thing I don't understand is why Russia just don't kick their ass, okay? Nazi Germany was way stronger than Ukraine, and they walked over them. So you want Putin to take sovereign territories. It's none of my fucking business, is what I'm saying. Excuse me, but our founding fathers said no foreign entanglements. That's kind of like, it's easy to understand as shall not be infringed. Okay? That's what I feel about it. Same with Israel and Iran. Hey, they can turn each other into glass now. Let them do it. Maybe their future generations will realize that war is not the right way, and they're going to decide to get along. We can't afford this shit, okay? America's not at war, but we sure are paying for it. And America gets what it pays for. And everybody who's okay with all this money going to war, that's okay. You'll be sending your kids pretty soon, okay? We don't get out of this shit. You'll be sending your kids. Because, what are we going to do when the dollar bill becomes worthless? When Ukrainians are going to want the dollar bill, they'll use it to sit there and start fires with. You need to go out and stay out of there. You need to get out and stay out of there. First come Ukraine, then comes the world. This is the thing. Let's worry about our country. It's not, I'll tell you, it's not Putin that's going to come to my door, or the Russian soldiers that's going to come to my door at 6 a.m. with a no-knock raid and shoot me down. Now, Trump hasn't done that since he's been in office, but Biden did it a few times. So why am I supposed to be worried about Iran or Russia? Now, Iran sending sleeper cells and activating them, that could be a problem. But we're living where I live, we don't have to worry about that. When you live in a county that has less than 2,000 people in it, every stranger is noticed. Okay. And we don't care what political affiliation you are around here. Everybody watches out for the other person because they know if somebody's coming in here to start problems, they're going to start problems for everybody. Sir, you take on Boeing? You take on Boeing? No, I'm not taking on Boeing. All the money sent to Ukraine never made it to Zelensky. Scam. Yeah, it did. How do you think he got all his? He's got billions of dollars, and doesn't he have a place in Florida? Whatever. Well, a lot of it got swindled away, and a lot of it came back to the United States, to Democrats as campaign contributions. That's your money, by the way. Would you let somebody come into your house and steal from you? Willingly, and you know he's going to do it, and then he's going to go, I don't know, spend money on drugs? Stuff, the money you were going to use to feed your kids with? No Epstein list. I'm glad I made those 4th of July videos. I mean, I'm sick of this government. Washington, D.C. just is completely corrupt. And all they do is care about controlling anyway. Sooner or later, the little guy is going to get pissed, okay? We ain't going to be led by the rich people, okay? The influential people, like the first revolution was led by. We ain't going to have leaders like that. We're going to have leaders that grow into that, okay? So we might get our asses kicked at first, whatever. But as long as the drive's there. Anyway, staying on democracy. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. See, in a democracy, Donald Trump, if they want to pass a law, he can run for a 3rd term in a democracy. In a constitutional republic, he can't. They got to follow the rules. A constitutional republic handcuffs the government and gives power to the people. Does it seem like we live in a country like that right now? Anyway, that's a note to end on. That's all I got for this evening. I appreciate everybody being here. Like I say, before I go, this channel will never ask for money, donations, or nothing like that, or sell stuff. If you want us to help the channel out, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. It's the best way to do it. Help this channel grow. And then I'll get monetized, and then, but all the money that I make on YouTube is going to go back into YouTube to get this word out. America is teetering, and a lot of people that are on the Titanic are listening to the band play and being soothed out by it, thinking everything isn't going to be as bad as it is. I don't think so. Anyway, this is Tom with the Hidden Truths channel. I'll see you all again tomorrow night. I'm out of here.